Can you see it? It's the sunshine. It's the first time we've had sunshine on our homestead in more than a month. And good morning, neighbors, and welcome. I'm Julie from Wild Homestead Living, and it is January 1st, 2023. And oh man, I have had so many rich and juicy conversations and insights this week that I am excited to share with you. Like I said, I'm excited, and I feel almost filled to the brim with bursting with just renewed vigor and a fresh approach to a new year. And I think that is one of the beautiful gifts that we all get when one year ends and another year begins. And so that's why I wanted to sit down and talk with you today. I hope you'll hold on tight and hang in there for this video. I have a feeling it's going to be a bumpy ride, and I will tell you that while I can be very warm and caring, I also have a really strong streak of Nordic Viking women that runs through my veins, and sometimes people have a little bit difficult time reconciling those two parts of me, but hopefully we'll get through it together. If you are here and listening to this and you were like, oh man, Julie, I did not show up for this. Like, I'm here for the DIY how-to stuff. That is totally cool. You can think of this as a buffet, and you can take and leave whatever you like. And I promise you, we've got lots of videos in our arsenal and lots of blog posts, including one I did last week about natural cleaning products, and there will be lots more to come. But here's what I know to be true, is that I am clearer than ever that my mission on the planet at this time is to be here to help you get started. There's a lot of really bad stuff happening in the world. There's a lot of really hard stuff. There's a lot of people suffering. I know myself and many people who are dealing with some really difficult things. And there's never been a better time for all of us to start empowering ourselves to lead healthy, sustainable, nature-connected lives, and to celebrate and encourage other people to do it. So the three sort of points or concepts and ideas that I want to talk about together today, that this cusp of an end of a year and a beginning of a year bring us the opportunity for, are reflecting on what worked and what we're grateful for in the last year, getting honest with ourselves about what didn't, and setting an intention for the new year. And I'm going to go first, although I invite you to start thinking about, for you, what the answers to those questions might be. In terms of what worked really well for us, for those of you who are new here, you can go back and watch some of the other videos on these items. But for those of you who have been following along, what worked really well for us this year was healing our poisoned soil. And we were able to have a spring and a summer garden for the first time in nearly a year that really thrived. And I'm so grateful that that worked. Another thing that was really successful and I'm really grateful for this year is Wild Homestead Living as a platform. I'm grateful for you for being here. Our community has grown in ways I didn't ever imagine. The people who are signing up for our email list, and maybe you're on it, is 6 or 7 times greater than it was at this time a year ago. And what that means to me is that there are people like you out there who are longing for a more meaningful life. And you're finding it with us and our community. And it has been such a joy and a treasure to hear your stories, to get your messages, to your comments and your support here, and to have opportunities to share that story on a wider platform. Whether it was the opportunity to be on Jill Winger's podcast, Old Fashioned on Purpose, or for my story, my really vulnerable story of going from cancer to country living and dealing with PTSD was published both as an essay, a podcast, and in a book. So grateful that you have been here to help us along in realizing that dream. A couple of the things that have been a real struggle for us are our siding project. Our house looks really pretty now, and it's done, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's done well. But it was a huge struggle. A project that should have took 3 weeks ended up taking more than 9 months, and a huge amount of struggle and stress, and especially on Kevin, to really manage the company to get them to do the work right that we had paid for. The other thing, which you've probably already noticed that hasn't gone well, is my fall and winter garden. And to be honest with you, there's part of me that didn't want to film this in the garden. And then what I realized is that by showing up in a public way, we have an opportunity and also a responsibility to be really authentic and honest about what works and what doesn't. This garden right now and past years and what it should look like is having covered beds that have huge, abundant, like bursting to life greens in them. And as you can see, everything is either bare or dead and slimy. This is partly because we put in drip irrigation that allowed slugs to get in our garden, which created a disaster. And I also tried using a discount agricultural fabric, which you see hanging on the fences, that was really poor quality, and it allowed that really cold weather we had to get in and permeate our beds and cause most everything to die. That third piece of setting our intention and what we want to have moving forward into the next year, given the things that worked and didn't, is something that can be a little uncomfortable to look at. When we set an intention, we don't know if we're going to meet it or not. It's a little scary. Me telling you some of my hopes and dreams for the next year, when we sit here a year from now, I don't know if they're going to work out or not, but I'm going to share them with you now. So are you ready for them? I've got 3. I'm a big fan of the 3s. The first one, our intention I'm going to set, is something that you can follow along with and is personal to our homestead, which is that I'm really setting the intention to be able to grow food again year round in this garden that you see. The second intention is, I've only told this to a couple people. I have good friends who are probably going to watch this and be like, what? And text me, but I am in the process of earning a life coach certification. And some of you might be like, that sounds a little touchy-feely and a little too mystical for me. But the reason I decided to go for that goal is that there are so many people who I am watching and who are reaching out to me that really are longing to live a more healthy, nature-connected and sustainable life and are feeling stuck. And I really want to be able to use our experiences and my own challenges that I've faced to help others. So I'm working on that. And third is, this is also one that not a lot of people know, but we are developing a course, a mentoring course that will help guide you and guide others who are really ready to get started living their homestead dream, but are feeling stuck and don't even know where to begin. So those are 3 really big, kind of scary, exciting dreams and intentions that I'm setting for the next year. So here's the tough love part of the conversation, is that the life that you woke up to this morning is a life that you created for yourself. And that might sound really harsh, but you are responsible for your life. And the beautiful thing about that is you are the one who has the power to transform that. I can be your guide. You can watch our example. There's so many people out there to provide shining lights. But in the end, it's your thoughts and actions that you have control over and that you can change to create the life of your dreams. It took me a long time and a rough road to make that realization. It took me nearly dying of cancer to figure that out. And frankly, it made me really angry before I realized that it could set me free. Maybe you're feeling the same way. Maybe you are stuck in fear and uncertainty. And if that's the case, here's what I want to share with you. If you've been waiting for a sign, you have been waiting for permission, this is it. I'm giving it to you. You have permission to live your dream. You have permission to even dare to let yourself dream. This is a sign that 2023 is your year to begin. I know this is going to make some people angry, but you do not have to own your own land and live in the country to be a homesteader. You do not have to drink milk out of your own cow's udder to be a homesteader. It is okay to go to the grocery store and buy nut milk out of the cooler and still call yourself a homesteader. What matters is that you begin. Homesteading is really just a word to describe a way of living, a way where you choose to take personal responsibility for your life and use your mind and your heart and your hands to start creating some of what you need to survive. And let me tell you, sitting here, it is a journey of transformation, and it is not just about the stuff around you. It is about what happens inside. So before I sign off, I want to ask you, I want to give you this opportunity to just go in for a second and reflect and think about, what is one small way that you could take a step towards a healthier, more meaningful life in the next week? I'll just wait. You can think about it. You got it? You have something? I can tell you mine is that I'm going to go inside and look at the seed catalogs and this garden, and I'm going to figure out what we're going to plant in 2023. I would love for you to share yours if you're willing to. You can leave it in the comment section below, or you can email us through our website if you don't want it to be public. But I am excited for what we're going to create this year. I have a feeling it's going to be better than we could possibly imagine. And remember, there is no one right way to homestead, only the way that's right for you.